Hey everybody, happy Friday. So we're bringing back the overhead camera because we got to have a little bit of fun here, and you'll kind of see why when you get a hold of some of the shiny cards that I'm going to show you. So this video is going to be in two parts. Part one is going to be my usual pickups video that you're kind of accustomed to on the end of the week. There's been some good stuff here for sure, and some things that I'm going to be talking about. And then the second part is going to be a response to Canadian cards, to a video he made recently that I didn't forget about, but I needed to make sure I got those other videos recently. The last two videos I think were almost like 45 minutes combined. They were pretty long videos, so I definitely wanted to take my time and make sure I did those the way that I wanted them done, but now I can have a little fun at the end of this video. Okay, so let's get into the pickups. We're gonna have a little bit of everything, and in kind of honor of opening day, I do actually have some baseball pickups for the first time in a really long time here. So we're gonna have a 3 sports mail day, believe it or not, for the first time in quite some time. First, unfortunately, this player wasn't available for opening day. He contracted the coronavirus, so we may not see him here for a little bit then, but hopefully we'll see him in the shortened season. So I got a Juan Soto here. This is from 2020 Select. And I've been on a kick of these 2020 Selects and some Select cards in general because I very much have been enjoying a lot of these cards and the shine related to them. I'll have a little bit more detail on some of the thought process behind it, but I do like Soto as a hitter and as a young player. So this is the Scope Prizm for his base card. It's just a great looking card. These are still super inexpensive, all things considered, and I think they're fantastic. And one of the things you may notice is that in the other sports, basketball in particular, a lot of cards like this have really started to take off, even for players outside of their first year. Now, one other thing you want to pay attention to is that Select does have one other thing in the sense that you do have a lot of the etching. So I'm coming a little closer here, hopefully, so you can see it. So like look around where Soto's number is and his name, the pants and things like that, and you can see a little bit of that shine. You'll get a chance to see it on another card or two, but so this is the Scope card. I just love the design of these Select cards. So I think they just look fantastic top to bottom. So this is a really great one. This is the Scope Prizm of Juan Soto. So that's the first card we're going to look at. Second one is kind of in the same vein, and I think you'll get a chance to see more of this card later on. But this is from his... This is from Phenomenon insert set. This is the silver version. Again, a great looking design, top to bottom. Color-wise, thematically, it's pretty good. And of course, what you have to remember is all the Panini cards in Major League Baseball are unlicensed, so you don't get the logos and everything. But I just think this is still a stunning looking card with the red going on with the uniform and everything and the helmet. And then you see the WAS for Washington, because they keep it kind of general. Can't say the team nickname either, so you have it. But you can see the nice refractor type shine to it. So that's the Juan Soto. Same vein, kind of in the same idea. So this one's a more local flavor. We've got the Vladdy Jr, so from 2020. So this is a second year card for Vladdy Jr. Again, great looking card. So this is the silver version of the base card. So I think you can sense a little bit of theme with these couple. And then I think with the Vladdy Jr, you can see the etching just a little bit better. There you go. I think that was pretty good. See if I can zoom in on that. Hopefully that's reasonable. So if you look around his name and you can see kind of the creases in the uniform, that is what proper etching looks like. Just really good looking. Unlicensed or not, I absolutely love these cards. They're fantastic. All right. I could spend some time staring at this one, but we're going to move on. There's a lot of great stuff on this mail day. Okay, so one more for that Phenomenon set as well. I'm not going to collect the set, but to be honest, after getting these two, I'm really tempted. These are just cool looking cards. So the silver version as well. So 4 silver Prizms for 2020 Select to start this off. Little baseball flavor right after opening day. Okay, we got one football card here, kind of sticking to that Select theme as well. This is the Silver Prizm from 2016 in football. We got ourselves an Rodgers. That's a sweet looking card as well. The early Select Prizms in football will really look great for the silver versions, the Prizms. You can see that it really pops. Again, in football, I don't think it's quite taken off to the same degree as it has in the other sports, although for some of the rookies, you're definitely starting to see that a little bit. So for some of the veteran quarterbacks like this, I want to definitely pick stuff up like that when I can, just in case the market decides to start heading in that direction. So that's the Rodgers. I'd send this in for grading, but it's a little bit too off-center, but it's a cool-looking card. I don't mind having it in my collection. Now back to the bread and butter of the channel. We're going to do some hockey here. We definitely got a lot of pickups from Modano. So this one, you're going to be seeing a lot more of this design in the next little while. This is from 2019-2020 Upper Deck Stature. So it's one of the newest sets. This is the blue parallel for Stature. So in total, they've got the base card and 4 parallels. And like I said, you'll get a chance to see this design. Just bear it in mind when you see a few more of these. This is the blue version. It is out of 35. And they've all got kind of that foil shine going along with it, with the foil. And they're pretty thick cards. Pretty straightforward design, and they do have a variation as well with a couple of color parallels. So I've started to attack this one with some vigor. I think the rainbow on this should be, I believe it should be in hand in terms of cards that are en route. If I manage that, then I'll show you that completed rainbow for this little subset. It's just a great looking card though. All right, let's move on. Got to have some autographs. So this is from National Hockey Day in Canada. This is from 2016. Nice, straightforward, plain looking autograph. It is a sticker autograph, but it's a nice clean card. These were kind of packs that you could get at the card shop when they had the National Hockey Day in Canada. Well, this one's National Hockey Day, I guess, National Hockey Card Day, and I guess this is the US version. Seems appropriate. Okay. All right, these next two are, again, unlicensed cards, but these are from In the Game / Leaf. This one is from Superlative, a career retrospective card, so number 9 of 12, so it is a jersey number card. There we go. So it's got a couple of different patch pieces here from different parts of his career. It is a cool looking card. It is the blue parallel. And like I said, it is 9 of 12. You know how Leaf does their stuff. Cool. All right, this one is from Lumber Kings, also numbered to 12. So this is for the 50 Goal Club. Triple stick piece. Nice design on these. These look pretty good. So Modano was a 50 goal scorer in his inaugural year with the Dallas Stars when they moved from Minnesota. So that's kind of what launched the franchise and made him a star in Dallas. That carried through into the rest of his career, the Stanley Cup win, and all that. Very cool. Lumber Kings. Okay, so now we're to the nitty gritty. We're into some really fun stuff here. This one is kind of cool. This one came in. This is from the inaugural year of Be a Player Ultimate Memorabilia. And when I did my showcase of Be a Player Ultimate cards, I didn't have any from the inaugural year, so I was waiting on this one to come in. I wanted to show it to you. And the seller was nice enough to include, as part of the package, the original pack. So these were the ones that you had for the inaugural version. And they put the sticker on it with the Modano and the numbering and everything for their record-keeping purposes. But this one came with a little tray inside with a little faux felt, and it's actually in the pack as well. I've already taken the card out of the pack, but that's basically what it looked like, and you'd have it inside the box. And this is what you would have pulled in the year 2000 and 2001. These were pretty expensive back then. I don't remember exactly how much it was. I want to say like $100, $150 a pack, something like that. These were a little too rich for my blood back then, but you can get some really nice cards inside. So I'll show this one to you. So this is the base silver autograph from Modano. And hopefully you can see. So first of all, the silver autograph is die cut. So a pretty simple design, but it does have the spot for the autograph there. Now you can see here in terms of if you compare it to some of the other ones that came in that showcase, the label is very plain, but this was the inaugural year. So you got the Be a Player logo here in the corner, and then you can see silver autograph, number to 90, and then you've got the total number of cards. So 25,000 cards was the entire print run for the entire series of every single card, every single subset, everything, and parallels. And there's the design on the autograph itself. Very cool. So that's a special card from back then. All right, we're down to the final three here. So this is kind of special. So testament to how fun this mail day, this mail week was, that this is the third from the last. This here is one that should be familiar to the point of I'm getting sick of it almost myself, but the opportunity presented itself to pick it up, so I had to. So this is from 2018-2019, Leaf Ultimate. This is the black printing plate autographed by Modano. And you can see there, it's a very familiar design. I'm not going to do the whole rainbow thing showing it to you again. This is my second of the printing plates. So now I've got half the printing plates, and in counting the one that's sitting in ComC, I have a complete rainbow of the actual card itself and all the different variations. And when I get that one in, I'll do a final showcase here, but I can also show that I have two printing plates. So there you go. There's a one of one. Now, if the one of one isn't in the top two, so that begs the question, what made it into the top two? And the second to last card is going to be this one here. And I'll give you the significance in a second. So this is 97-98. Pinnacle Certified Mirror Red. So this design should be pretty familiar to you from Maildays for over the last couple of months as I've been chipping away at some of these. I completed the totally certified rainbow, and this one here completes the rainbow for 97.98 Pinnacle Certified. So I'm going to show you real quick here. There's the binder, or the folder. You can see there you got the base card. This is the certified red version. Mirror blue, the mirror gold, and then taking its place right here is going to be the mirror red to finish that off. So very cool. Another little rainbow completed. I'll be very pleased to add that to the folder here as I'm chipping away. So this folder here represents strictly 1997-1998, as I mentioned before, my favorite year in hockey cards. So that's a great one. Now I took no chances because when the seller had it up, I wanted to make sure I won in order to complete this rainbow. So I might have placed an aggressive bid on a different one. So I actually have two of them. So a little bit of overkill. So what I might do is I might peel one and keep the other one unpeeled and then have both versions. I may at some point try to complete the rainbow with both versions, but for now I'm going to leave these alone. But that is just fantastic looking. Really good stuff. For the select, I already peeled all the different ones where it was applicable. These ones I'm going to give it some thought, but I'm going to leave it alone for a little while. But that is not one, but two copies of the Mirror Gold from 97-98, Pinnacle Certified, to complete the rainbow. Third to last was a 1 of 1, which kind of added to what was already a rainbow technically. Put the exclamation point on it. Second to last was the completion of a rainbow. So now, what is left? Well, this one doesn't complete a rainbow, but it is a very special card because it is from one of my favorite things. When it comes to the premium cards for Modano or any other hockey player, the cup is the gold standard. And there are some fantastic cards in the cup, including some very limited ones. This one here is special. Whenever you can add one of these to your collection, it's pretty good if you're a hockey card collector. What we've got here is 2006, 2007 Cup Foundations. Now there's different versions of the Cup Foundation, so this is the quad patch autograph from Mike Modano, and it is numbered 25. So let me just make sure I tilt that towards you. There you go. So that's the view right there. 4 patches in the window, clean on-card autograph, and numbered 4 to 5 right there. It's a little hard to see. I have to tilt it just right for you. There you go. So you can see the foil. But that right there is a very fun and very special card. Now, unfortunately, the seller put it in one of those top loaders where they use the regular kind of tape, and it's really ugly looking. It'll serve its purpose, but I had to take it out so that you could see this properly. The cup cards are really some of the most special ones and some of the ones that I like the most. So this one here is a design that I can definitely get behind. But that right there is definitely the piece that I wanted to complete the Mailday with. So there you go. So you got the cup. You got a 1 of 1. That's pretty good. And then how about not 1 but 2 mirror reds just to finish that off. And why not, actually? Just so we don't discriminate, we'll put a scope Juan Soto here, just to represent a little bit of baseball content on this one. So an excellent week in the mail. Been really happy with this one. As much as it horrifies me to say, I've checked the eBay queue and there's some more stuff coming down the pipeline. But like everything else, it's the mail, and it's in the world of a pandemic, so the mail is going to be a little inconsistent here and there, but the mail gods were kind this week. So that's it for the pickup part of the video. The next part you're going to see the clip is going to be my response to Canadian cards. So if that's all you wanted to see here, thanks very much for watching as always. Any comments or questions in there, I'm more than happy to respond. Otherwise, I'll catch you in the next video, or I'll catch you in the next clip. Thanks. Hey there, part 2 of the video. So hopefully this lighting isn't doing me too much harshness. But anyway, so the challenge basically brought up by Canadian Cards. Mike was nice enough to throw my name in the hat for that. And basically the concept was to talk a little bit about and feature some cards about a baseball player that was born in your hometown. And I kind of replied back in the comments. Like I said, I didn't forget about it. It took me a couple of days to get to it, but I wanted to do it as part of this video here for the end of the week. And it was a little bit more complicated for me than he might have first thought. And that's okay. He was nice enough to try to give me a little bit of an out. He kind of suggested I could pick a different sport. So let me explain. He threw out Toronto in there, which is a very easy thing to make, because I've got this behind me, and obviously I make a lot of references to the Toronto Blue Jays and things like that, because I do live in the Greater Toronto Area, the GTA. Now, the GTA is comprised of a couple of different cities around it. So I don't live in Toronto proper, although up until prior to pandemic times, I did work every day in Toronto, and I've worked every day in Toronto probably for the last 5 or 6 years. So I basically would hop on a train that's just beside where my condo is, and then take a 25-minute trip during rush hour over to Union Station, which is the main hub there in Toronto, and then I'm in downtown Toronto proper, and then I would hop on a subway to head upward in order to go to my office. Now nowadays I'm working from home since the middle of March, and probably right now at least through Halloween, and most likely through to next year, and then we'll kind of see how it goes from there. But I've been at home most of the rest of the time. So I actually don't live in Toronto, but I live in a suburb outside of Toronto called Mississauga, Ontario. And Mississauga, Ontario is funny because it is a suburb. It is 100% a suburb. We don't have a daily newspaper, although we've got a crummy, semi-regular weekly newspaper that is basically a glorified envelope for flyers. So we've got that. Don't have a radio station. Don't have any kind of a TV presence. I think they might have a local cable thing, but it's literally local. And yet we're the 6th largest city in Canada. So we're not only in the top 10, we're just outside the top 5. And all the other ones are capitals of their respective provinces, I believe. That tells you kind of where we stand kind of in relation to the other cities in Canada. So Mississauga creates kind of a unique conundrum because it isn't exactly a hotbed for baseball players. Although I did do really high-level research just to see, and the only name I could really recognize or see was Dalton Pompey, who had a cup of coffee in the major leagues. So that was kind of funny to me. Now the thing is, I wasn't born in Mississauga. It is my hometown, so to speak, because I've lived here for 32 years. But I wasn't born here. I was raised here, and I wasn't born in Canada either. So I've decided to kind of extend the borders out a little bit in order to help myself out. I could have cheated and used Toronto a little bit, which would have helped, but I think this will be a little bit easier. So we're going to extend the borders out a little bit to good old Panama. Now, Panama isn't exactly a baseball hotbed compared to other Latin countries, but it's got a little bit of a baseball tradition. There are some good players that would be names. Major League Baseball-wise, I think some of the more prominent ones now would be like a Carlos Lee, obviously retired. I believe Carlos Ruiz. I'm going off the top of my head on that one. My indirect favorite is kind of a journeyman player because he did play for Team Panama in the World Baseball Classic, and I had to look it up because I was shocked when I saw him on the roster. Bruce Chen. Believe it or not, Bruce Chen was born in Panama City, Panama, just like me. So, and apparently he's fluent in Spanish, so he played for Team Panama, which was hilarious. But Bruce Chen isn't the one I'm picking here. And allegedly there's another pitcher who also was born in Panama City, Panama, who people seem to claim is good. I did a little Googling, just try to, because the name escapes me. I did a little Googling, and all I could find for it was terrible fashion sense and overrated. It was weird. That's all I could find. So I'm going to ignore him. The best pitcher in Panamanian history is clearly Bruce Chen, because, you know, a real pitcher can pitch more than 2 innings at a time. Might as well be a little controversial and have a little fun while I'm doing it. But to me, jokes aside, to me, when I think of Panamanian baseball, there's really only one name that comes up. As far as that's concerned, and I think it's a good name to select because I think it's a good proper one. If we're talking about Panama as a whole, to me, the player is Rod Carew. Because number one, Hall of Fame, absolutely. 3,000 hits. Good old baseball reference is coming to my aid on this one a little bit. 18-time All-Star, 7 batting titles, and Major League Player of the Year, and MVP in 1977. Those are credentials. And I think he had like 350 stolen bases to boot. On top of that, and 3,000 hits. So pretty worthy, a pretty worthy selection, I would say. Because Panama as a whole, as I said, although they've had Major League Baseball players over time, and I believe if I go more obscure ones to like when I started collecting, I think Roberto Kelly is also from Panama originally. Because I remember the 1990 Topps Roberto Kelly, so, or 89 Topps, one of them or maybe both of them. But that's another one that sticks in my head, and I'll correct myself if I'm wrong. So Rod Carew would be my selection as far as that's concerned, because I think that's about as good a representation of good old Panama as you can possibly get. I would have worn my Team Panama jersey, but it's still a little hot and a little humid around these parts. I do have a couple of Rod Carew cards to show you, because I do like to collect a little vintage here. It's dried up in recent times, but I'll probably get back to it at some point. So I have some sets that I've either worked on or completed, where I've got a couple of cards that I'll show you. So the first one we're going to do here is, I like this one because it is the Rookie Cup, 1968 Topps. So that's Rod Carew from 1968 Topps when he was playing for the Minnesota Twins. Hopefully you can make that out with the lighting. And you got a nice, big, generous Rookie Cup there as well. That's a pretty cool card. I like the little burlap sack cards. These are kind of neat. And this is also known as the Nolan Ryan Rookie Year. So that's a big one. This one is a nice one here. It's kind of a plain design. Not a lot of people like it, but for some reason I always kind of enjoyed it. I always liked it. So we've got the 1970 Topps Rod Carew. Again, playing for the Twins. Let me see if I can get that to focus a little bit. There we go. That's a little better. So 1970 Topps, you got the plain old gray borders. I always like the back of these. Topps Heritage obviously already did this one back. I actually have a 71 Topps as well, but I wasn't going to go puttering around in the box to get it. This one's a good one for that as well, because this is the 1977 Topps, because that is the year he won the American League MVP. Kind of a cool card. He's playing first base there. He was an All-Star that year as well. Like I said already previously, you're talking 7 batting titles, so Rodgers did pretty well for himself. And then the last card I'm going to show you is another set that I did complete. I should have done it chronologically, actually. I flipped these. But this is from my complete set. This is 1976. So he was an All-Star as well that year. One of his 18 All-Star appearances. So to me, probably the best representative of Panamanian baseball that I can think of. Top to bottom, great hitter. He had speed. He wasn't a power guy, but 3,000 hits and a 328 career batting average. That's pretty good. So that's my representative of Panamanian baseball. My original hometown, so to speak, if I extended out to the country and I decided that I was going to. So that's my answer to that. Thanks, Mike, Canadian Cards, for including me in this. I generally don't participate in too many of these, but since you were gracious enough to include me, I thought I would reply in kind. So that's it for this video. Thanks very much as always. If you got any comments or questions, throw them in there. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you like the channel, hit subscribe. I've got a bunch of other different videos that I do. I'm probably going to talk a little bit more about some investment stuff, just because that's a topic that has interested me a lot, and it's obviously in the name. But otherwise, it's a lot of videos related to collector stuff, my pickups and all that. That's kind of what I do on the channel the rest of the time. So that's what I'm going to be doing as well going forward. Thanks very much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.